This is regarding a little girl that, or I should say a 3-year-old, excuse me, that was found wandering on their own. Uh, this is a story that has been developing this morning, but one of the things that we want to let you know, one of the newer pieces of information that we're learning at this hour is that Atlanta police have been looking for information regarding this 3-year-old. They were able to track down the mom. They were able to track down the mom. Right now, we've got a crew out there that is working to gather new details about what really happened with the mom, what led to this child being out there wandering and whatnot. But police say someone called them to say that the child wandered to his doorstep on Belfort Road. This is in southeast Atlanta, and this happened about 10:20 last night. So that child had been out there in the wee hours of the morning, because it wasn't until about 7 o'clock this morning that we learned that that child had been found. So they say the child is malnourished, has minor scratches and cuts. Officers were able to go around knocking on doors of the neighbors trying to figure out who this child belonged to. And again, they were able to track down a woman who is believed to be the mother. As we get more details, we will be sure to update you. And of course, we will have an update for you on Atlanta News First at noon. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to get my bearings together for just a second, because that transition with Ella Dorsey is sometimes a little hard. I'm used to them transitioning with me and not the opposite. But here we are, another story that we're staying on top of at this hour. Is the breaking news out of Washington last night. The Consulate General of Israel in Atlanta sharing a statement after 2 Israeli embassy members were killed in Washington, D.C. These were staff members that were killed last night. Now, I do want to read this to you before we get new information from Sarah Hanman. They wrote in part, quote, Israeli diplomats and representatives around the world stand on the front lines of Israel's diplomatic efforts, defending the country with their very lives. They went on to say, we will not be deterred by terror. We will continue our mission across the globe with unwavering commitment to represent Israel with pride. Atlanta News First Sarah Hammond has more about the suspect, and the police there are believing that he did act alone.
You can hear the suspect shouting, "Free, free Palestine," as police take him outside in handcuffs. U.S. officials are condemning what they call an extreme act of anti-Semitism in D.C., and the young couple killed have now been identified as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. Police say the suspect was seen pacing back and forth outside of the museum before approaching a group of 4 people and opened fire. He then walked inside of the museum, told witnesses he did it, and then police arrested him.
He reaches into his bag and pulls out a keffiyeh and says, "I did it. I did this for Gaza," and just starts shouting "Free Palestine," and that's when the police came in and arrested him.
President Donald Trump has condemned the shooting on social media, calling for acts of anti-Semitism to stop. In Midtown Atlanta, Sarah Hammond for Atlanta News First.
Sarah, thanks for that report. Meanwhile, in Washington, we are learning more regarding the bill
Unified
that
control of government is
President
a rare
Trump
mandate.
has been
It doesn't
trying to
happen very
push
often.
through. House Republicans
It's
were
happened
able to
just 3
muscle
times
through
for our party in
President
the last
Trump's
half-century. We do not take it for
multi-trillion-dollar
granted.
tax break
And we are
package.
delivering on that mandate
So
here today.
if you're
The
not
American
familiar
people
with
gave
this,
us a
you've
mandate
likely
in
heard
November.
about it, because one of the big things that we've been hearing about is it's called the Big Beautiful Bill. That's what he's been calling it. It's a 1,000-page bill. It passed 215 to 214, so barely. That happened earlier this morning after a lot of debating, a lot of voting overnight. Republicans say they are doing what they were elected to do, while the leader of the Democrats in the House calling it, quote, one big ugly bill. So let's fill you in on what is in this bill: an extension of the $4.5 trillion tax breaks from 2017. Also new tax breaks including no taxes on tips, overtime pay, and car loan interest. New work requirements to get Medicaid and food stamp benefits. A rollback of green energy tax breaks that Congress passed in the Biden administration. Bipartisan Inflation Reduction Act. And then a $350 billion piece is in here about new spending for President Trump's defense shield and immigration agenda. So that is, again, what happened here, but that happening just some hours ago. So that is definitely going to be one of those talkers on a day like today. But let's take you back live outside, because we're gearing up for Memorial Day, the unofficial start to summer. And look, people are traveling like crazy already. Experts say the travel trend has exploded since the end of the pandemic. More than 88 million people are expected to venture out over the holiday alone. And here's what we want to tell you. You can expect to pay a little bit more for the gas, but not if you fill up right now. Let me tell you why. There's some big savings happening today at Circle K. They're going to be offering 40 cents off a gallon of gas first. The Inner Circle Rewards members are taking part in this deal that started at 7 o'clock. That goes until 3. If you are not a part of the Rewards member circle, then that deal is going to open up to you at 4 o'clock. It'll run through 7 o'clock, but it's for select locations only. All right? It's the best thing you can do. Let's check out online how, if your location closest to your home is out there. I think in Cobb County, we probably got a couple of them, but I can't really think of how many we have. I don't pass Circle K's very often. And according to AAA, more than 45 million people are set to travel over the holiday weekend. So it is sure to be a busy one, but you know what? That's Memorial Day for you. It's starting to get warmer out there, so people are doing what they've got to do to make sure that they have a good time. But also, let's not forget what Memorial Day is about, taking a moment to remember those who have fallen and have really paid the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and we are so thankful for their service. All right, one more live look outside over the city where it is quite nice out there. You just heard from First Alert meteorologist Ella Dorsey about the weather and how that weather could impact the Memorial Day plans that you might have put together. But the good news is we've got these next few days to get out there and enjoy, and hopefully you'll do that. Thanks so much for spending some time with us here on the First Alert Desk. We'll have another update for you at 11, and then we'll be back here for Atlanta News First at noon. Make it a great one.